Okay, so today we are talking about sales and marketing strategies for clothing brands. In this session, you will learn how to create a successful sales and marketing strategy to grow your business. And I'm going to take questions at the end of the presentation today. So please stick around. Make sure you stay till the end of the very end of this presentation because I have a special announcement as well. Okay. So before I get started, let me introduce myself. My name is Glynis, and I'm an apparel business consultant and SEO specialist with 20 years apparel industry experience. I've worked for big brands for a decade, worked for companies such as Club Monaco, the Zellers head office, and Reebok. I was a product manager there. And I also ran my own clothing design company for over 10 years as well. So I've experienced both, working corporate environment for companies as well as running my own clothing design company. So I really love helping creative entrepreneurs build a purposeful and profitable business so they can make a living doing what they love. I'm also the founder of Chase Your Dreams Consulting, which offers strategy, business consulting, and SEO services for apparel companies. I also host a podcast called Chase Your Dreams Podcast, and it's available on pretty much all the podcast platforms like Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, Breaker, Anchor. And I really recommend you guys go and have a listen because there's a lot of really good information on there, a lot of good resources. And I like to teach, the foundation things so that you're able to build on foundations and learn and then just be able to grow upon that, right? Because I really feel that's very important to have a very solid foundation. And that's really what kept me in business for over a decade for my own clothing design company, because I really started with a very solid foundation. I took a lot of, the learnings and experience that I had from working at the companies like Reebok. I took the systems and processes and I implemented it into my business. Okay. And so, that's really what I'm passionate about teaching and be able to help people with in their business as well. So I just want to go over some terminology here before we begin. So let's define what marketing is. Marketing is the action or business of promoting and selling products or services. Advertising is the act or practice of calling public attention to a product or service. Promotion or sales promotion is an activity or series of activities that boost the sales of product or service, usually in the short term. The publicity is the public visibility or awareness for any product, service, or organization. It may also refer to the movement of information from its source to the general public, often via the media. Public relations, or PR, is the practice of deliberately managing the release and spread of information between an individual or an organization and the public in order to affect the public's perception. So I want to share a quote here. This is taken from Seth Godin's book, This is Marketing. Seth Godin he's like a marketing guru, right? He's written a lot of books on marketing, and he says, marketing is the generous act of helping someone solve a problem, their problem. Marketing helps others become who they seek to become. And in a way, he in the book, Seth makes a distinction between bad marketing and good marketing. Well, bad marketing is about hype, about interrupting customers, about pressuring to do what you want them to do, about scamming the customer into buying a product they may not need or want. good marketing helps customers. Good marketing is a positive force in the world. So when you think about it this way, in terms of marketing, there's sometimes people get a little bit turned off about the word marketing because they find it's like kind of sleazy or salesy or something, like you're trying to push people to buy things. But there, like you said, there's good marketing and there's bad marketing, right? It's also a quote that says, the other kind of marketing, the effective kind, is about understanding our customers' worldview and desires so we can connect with them. So marketing is a force for change. A marketer is only effective if they create change, right? So really, what type of change do you want to see? How are you helping people? Really, that's what I like to see, marketing as, that you're helping people, right? And so by sharing your message or your brand or your product or service, in a way, you're telling people like, I have a solution to your problem. And so what is sales? Well, sales is exchange of a commodity for money, the action of selling something. Sales is a part of marketing, right? They're very closely related. So sales is sort of like a result of your marketing efforts. So I'm not gonna go too deep into this, but for those who had attended my workshop on market research, we had really went in depth into the customer avatar and knowing who your ideal customer is. This is so important for any business. Doesn't matter what kind of business, where you are in business, whether you are new, beginning, or you're established, everything goes back to who your ideal customer is, right? So in my workshop on market research, and actually I have a replay of this available for you, those who are interested in watching this workshop, because it's really, really important, right? I talk about the customer avatar, and there's actually a worksheet, and this is an example of a completed worksheet. This is a fictional business that I created. It was for a sustainable women's loungewear company, but this is essentially what a completed customer avatar worksheet would look like in terms of understanding, your customers' challenges and pain points. What are their goals and values, and what do they consume in terms of what types of information they consume, and also addresses like, their decision making and the purchases, and obviously there's demographic information on here as well. So it's very specific who this person is, right? Even by giving them a name, you understand and you can at least visualize who this person is. And I even encourage people to, have a picture of this person, cut it out and put it on this paper, and have this in front of you at all times. It's almost like you have it, put it on your fridge, like this is the person who you are targeting, right? That you want to be able to target your messaging and your products and services towards. So that's the customer avatar worksheet. Okay, so hopefully everyone's completed this in some form. If not, please, I can share my webinar on how to do this. Okay. So like I just said, yeah, who is your customer? So here's the link actually for the replay of this video. You know what I will actually do here is I have the link right here that I can actually I will pop it in the chat box here. Oops. Sorry, my mouse is, I have an external monitor hooked up to this computer and my mouse is like not, it's stuck right now. So you might see it going crazy right now. Can't get it over to the chat box. Sorry guys, technical issue here. There you go. Okay, so I just put the link to this webinar replay right for you right in the chat box, okay? So now let me try to get my mouse back onto the screen. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, here we go. Okay, so let's talk about the SWOT analysis. And so these are important components in a marketing plan and sales plan. Like when you're even working on a business plan, right? These are all parts of the marketing plan in a business plan as well. So SWOT analysis. Many companies start with the SWOT analysis, so looking at your firm's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. This involves identifying your competitors, understanding exactly how they operate, and becoming familiar with their strengths and weaknesses. So when you look at your strengths, make a list of your company's internal strengths. So these are your competitive advantage, like any skills, proficiency, experience, talent, or any other internal factor that improves your company's position in the marketplace and can't be easily copied. Okay, so the examples can be, you have a well-trained sales team, low staff turnover, high consumer retention, or low production costs due to superior technology. Okay, these are all strengths of what you do well. Then your weaknesses are the factors that reduce your company's ability to achieve its objectives independently. So examples could include, unreliable delivery, outdated production tools, insufficient marketing efforts, and a lack of planning. And opportunities are ways for your business to grow and be more profitable. These can include seeking new markets, managing technological change, or addressing new consumer needs. You need to look at how your company's main skills can be used to take advantage of these opportunities. And threats are barriers to entry in your primary markets, such as labor shortage, legislative hurdles, or detrimental economic or political developments, right? So these are threats that are in perhaps the environment, perhaps maybe even out of your control, right? What types of obstacles are we facing? I mean, right now we're in a pandemic. Like that's a very huge threat to many businesses right now. So, to look at this in this way, lets you understand in a visual way, basically, what are all your company's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. It's really worth revisiting your SWOT analysis at least on an annual basis, particularly when you review your strategic plan. Okay, so it's simple. Just create a grid, and then you can just put in all this information. So I really recommend everyone at least giving an attempt for your business. Okay. So let's talk about the marketing mix here. Okay, so I'm sure most of you have probably heard of the 4 P's of marketing, right? The 4 P's like product, place, promotion, people. And recently they've added 3 more to that, which includes physical evidence, processes, and what did I say here? Hold on. Physical evidence, processes, and promotion. So products are the products that you are providing to your customer, right? So think about, okay, what are the products that you're providing? and the price, and what is your pricing strategy. Hopefully, everybody has figured out what the pricing strategy is. How much are you going to price things? What are your margins? How much is your product going to retail for? How much is your product going to wholesale for? What is your cost of things, right? So you should have this clearly laid out. And then place is where do your buyers look for your product? Is it online? Is it in retail? Is it on mobile devices? Is it at shows, like, if you still have doing shows and markets and that type of thing. So where can your buyers find your products? So then you're looking at the people. So people, who are people, and are your people, is exactly in terms of, are there any skill gaps? For example, the founders, your employees, culture, customer service, right? All those people that are involved in your business. Then place. Sorry, I talked about place. Sorry, promotion. Promotion. How will you communicate your marketing message? For example, is it through advertising? Do you have special offers that you give? Are there gifts? That sort of thing. Then processes are how is it that your customers consume your service, right? Is it through the delivery, through your service delivery? How do you resolve complaints? What is your response time on that? So think about your processes that you have in place. And then physical evidence would be how we reassure our customers. So that could be in the form of user stories and testimonials, any recommendations that you have, reviews, and perhaps any buzz. So it's very concise, when you look at these 7 P's of marketing. So I encourage you to do this for your own business, create this list and fill it out for your own business. Okay. So next let's talk about the competitive advantage. Okay. So competitive advantage is, why would anyone use your products over all the other options that are out there in the marketplace? Okay. The answer to this question will help you establish your competitive advantage, which is also known as your unique selling proposition. Clearly spell out how and why your product or service is different or better. Will your customers seek you out rather than your competitors? Your company may have advantages in areas such as price, location, service, experience, or training. So, competitive advantage can take 3 primary forms, and I have them listed here, right? So it's cost, there's offer advantage, and then there's niche advantage. I often don't discourage from trying to be competitive on pricing because, that's really difficult because you've got big players already in that space. You've got Walmart and Costco, who basically can be anyone on price. And I feel like if you try to compete on price, it's almost as if it's like a race to the bottom, right? If you keep discounting your product, right? There's no win here. I feel you have to figure out, where you can offer value in your product, right? And also serving a particular niche segment I find that is probably the best area to focus on your competitive advantage, because I built a very niche business. When I started, I was designing clothing it was like junior contemporary clothing that was inspired by Japanese animation and pop culture. And so my clientele were very much into anime and cosplay. And so I was doing a lot of anime and comic book conventions, okay, and selling direct at that time. And then I built up my business like wholesale and retail, and got distribution, and across Canada and US. And it was very niche, right? But people like found me because like I had this niche business that they were looking for this type of product, right? So I think, really trying to focus on niche, and, you probably hear this a lot, right? The importance of niching. So definitely, I would use that as an advantage. So here, is a chart you could use to consider the overall competitive environment, your direct competition, indirect competition, and future competition. So ensure that your competitive advantage is financially viable. You can use this grid to determine your competitive advantage. Based on your competitive intelligence research, document key strengths and weaknesses of your competitors. This in turn should create opportunities and threats related to your business, right? So through this as research, again, it kind of ties back to the SWOT analysis that we talked about earlier, right? In terms of your external threats as well. So what do your competitors do well? What don't they do well? Then assess then what are your opportunities, okay? So now let's talk about social media. Okay, so I pulled this chart just, off the internet. I thought it was interesting, gives you some pretty good stats on different social media platforms here, and, tells you like size, how many users they have, the gender and age range, location, and also who it's great for. And I find, really, if you're managing social media yourself, it's pretty difficult to try to cover everything. So focus on perhaps, 2 or 3 platforms where your ideal customers are, right? So keep in mind here, in terms of, how you're going to track your social media performance. You want to determine what your goals are to begin with, and then where's your audience? Really, what platform are they on, right? So if you're selling product, perhaps for most clothing brands, Instagram is probably great for showcasing products here, engaging young audience. That's probably the best platform. Pinterest is great too, as well not so much on Facebook, but I guess nowadays people are talking about TikTok. So instead of Snapchat, I think maybe TikTok is coming up. So really, where's your audience, right? And if you're more of like doing the B2B side of things, then, LinkedIn may be best for you. So, I would really take the time to test out 2, 3 different platforms, and see, how things convert, what engagement you're getting from it, and track, measure your engagement, your activity, and that sort of thing. And then just, figure it out, and then see what posts are working better, what days of, what time of the day is best for your posting, right? So I think it's different for every business, and you need to just be able to test it out and try different things to see what works best for your business. Okay. So let me talk about search engine optimization a little bit. And this is, one of my areas of expertise here. So search engine optimization is the practice of getting a website to rank organically on the top of Google search engine results. Okay, so you have, in terms of website traffic, there's organic traffic, right? There's direct traffic when someone types in your website. There's paid traffic, there's social traffic, and there's also referral traffic. Okay, so SEO is getting your site to rank organically, okay, not through paid. So you're not paying for advertisements. This is strictly like from people who are searching and using keywords on Google, and then your site's showing up. So optimizing your website by putting in those keywords in areas like your title tag, your meta description, and your headers and your images, image alt text, helps you be able to show up higher on the search engine results page. And you want to have your site show up at least on the top 10 results, which is page 1 of Google, because 95% of people do not make it past the first page of Google. Okay, and if not, you want to at least be in the top 3 results. Okay, so actually next week I am doing my workshop on SEO. So I'm not going to talk too much about SEO right now, but this is just a little bit of a primer on it. But next week I am fully going to be emerging and talking about SEO, and I'm going to be talking about what is SEO, why is it important, the Google ranking factors, and then how to do some on-page SEO keyword research and that kind of thing. Okay, so hopefully you guys can tune in for that. And so now, I'm just leading into sales strategy, right? Because we were talking about marketing. Now let's talk about sales. So when you really think about sales, right? Think about it as how you're bringing your customer through. It's a customer journey, right? You're bringing in from the top of the funnel, which is, you're bringing awareness. They haven't heard about you. They don't know who you are yet. So you need to do activities that build that awareness, okay? And that could be, in writing blogs and publishing like content, social media, and perhaps doing activities that are top of funnel. That's strictly building awareness. At this point, you're not asking for a sale or anything, right? You're just building awareness because they don't even know who you are. They're complete strangers. They're coming to your business cold, right? So you really want to give them a taste of who you are. And this works for paid advertisement as well, okay? Because a lot of times people think they are going to run ads, and they run like pretty much ads that are looking for conversion, like a sale, perhaps, right? So they're not leading people through the funnel properly. They're literally skipping from awareness down to sale, and you're asking for people to buy now. But people are not ready to buy now because they have not heard of you, right? So you need to create ad sets at every level of the funnel, right? Top, then you've got the middle. So the middle funnel is more like they're warm, they know who you are, and they're in the consideration stage, okay? Okay, they're deciding what to do. So, that's when you can like offer them something subscribe to your email list. You could perhaps give them some kind of offer, perhaps some kind of checklist or something that you can give them that they can like remember you, and they're ready to give them a taste of who you are. You could perhaps even lead, if they sign up for your mailing list, you could probably tell them a story about your brand and how your brand got started, right? So they get to know you a little bit better. This is almost like it's like dating too, right? Like you think about this, you're dating person, you're meeting them for the first time. You're not going to go and ask them to marry you, right, on the first date. So it's kind of the same thing. So then you go through towards, okay, the bottom of the funnel, which is ready for conversion, a sale, right? Now they've gotten a taste of you, they've gotten to know who you are, and they're ready to make a purchase. And so this is a time when you probably, can give them a coupon code. And that's when your ad set is going to be, you're trying to target conversions, as so that's pretty much the flow. And then obviously you want to be able to get people to promote your business, right? So through referrals. So you want to delight your customers with an awesome experience, right? So they'll tell more people about you and refer more business to you. So really think about, the customer journey. Okay, don't skip steps. Okay, go and nurture every part of the funnel. okay, and give people an amazing experience, okay, and to delight them ultimately and to return to you again. And so the last thing I guess I'll talk about here is about selling online now. So, you know, really today's environment, we can't really operate without an online store if you have a product-based business, right? And hopefully everybody here does, or in the process of getting their online store set up. But really, I'm gonna talk about a few points in terms of how to market your online store, okay? So first thing you need to do is make sure that you set up a Google Analytics account, okay? So because you need to be able to track your traffic. And so it's just, you know, you could just go into Google and even how to set up Google Analytics, right? And definitely set that up and plug in your code, your tracking code. If you have a Shopify website, you go into the preferences area and then you have to paste in your Google Analytics code so that it starts tracking your traffic from your website. Okay, so, you know, if you have a brand new e-commerce store, you're just starting out and you're trying to, like, you know, get traffic to your site. Well, go, first of all, you know, go for the low-hanging fruit. Go for the free traffic sources. You know, that includes sharing your store with your network and online communities, okay? Tell everybody you know about it and offer a discount code to entice people to check out your store. Then you can go and join online communities, and post on forums like Reddit, join a Facebook group, and find where does your niche hang out online and what communities are they online, right? And then you can consider perhaps doing some paid advertisement. And like I said earlier, you know, each platform, advertising platform is different. And you should choose the channels that are based on who you are targeting and how the tools allow you to reach these potential buyers, okay? So you've got Google ads, Instagram ads, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, Google ads, okay? So they all work a little bit differently. Well, Facebook and Instagram, right? Because Facebook owns Instagram. So you would set up your Facebook account, ad manager account inside within Facebook for your Instagram ads. But they're targeting mostly like through demographics and audience and who's engaging with your site. So that's why it's also important when you have your site launched to make sure you install your Facebook pixel as soon as you can, because that way it's tracking the data, okay, of people who are on your site, who is engaging with your site. Okay, Facebook uses that data to then go and retarget people. These are warm leads. These are people, you know, who have actually engaged with you or been on your site, right? And who have been on your, perhaps on your Instagram page, or who have subscribed. You can even upload your email list onto it. And so that's why it's important to start tracking the data, because Facebook needs all that data to be able to properly target the ads, okay, to the right audience, okay? Google, yeah, and the Google ads are about keywords, okay? So again, it goes into more keyword research and understanding what people are searching for, okay? And so that's how Google builds on it. They're looking for keywords. And then outside of paid ads, you know, you can also look into outreaching to bloggers in way of perhaps asking, you know, maybe you can submit a guest post or asking for a product review. You can pitch a news story. Another thing you can do is you can seek out strategic partnerships. So trying to look for non-competitive and like-minded brands that already attract the kinds of people you're looking for. Like you can run a contest together. You could perhaps package samples of your product or exclusive discounts with complimentary products. You could sponsor an event, or you could even create a product together, like do a collaboration. You know, there's so many of those going on with brands collaborating with other brands, right? Like, and so you're both leveraging each other's customer audience. And then The last thing I want to talk about in terms of marketing your online store is working with influencers. And so, I mean, this is a whole other thing, right, around influencer marketing, but how it's just really become really big now over the years. I'm just like still amazed at how people are able to make a living doing this. But yeah, it's amazing, that, instead of celebrities, you got these, I guess, celebrity influencers, right? So really look at, again, right, if you are going to decide to go the influencer route, there's different types of influencers based on the number of followers, right? There's like micro influencers and macro influencers, and their price all depends, right? And sometimes it may be even better for you to work with a micro influencer because they have a more engaged audience, and these are influencers who have like about 10,000 to maybe like 50,000 followers, versus a macro influencer that has like over 100,000 followers, and they would charge a lot more for a post. And who knows if your post will even be seen, like it's like one post and you pay like a lot of money for. So really, consider that when you're going into the influencer route. But hopefully, this has given you some good ideas and ways to market your online store. And I just want to share something with you right now. This really wraps up my presentation right now. And I just wanted to share something exciting with you because I am launching a group coaching program in March. And so I wanted to tell you about the program and who the program is for. So this is a mastermind community for fashion entrepreneurs and clothing brand owners. I made the program affordable because I know all the expenses that go into running your apparel business. This allows to keep your costs fairly minimal, but you still get the support from myself and with someone with my experience who's been there and can relate to what you're going through. So the program is currently set for 3 months, and at the end of the program, we can look into extending the program and going, month to month, depending on each individual's needs. And what is special about the program? Well, this is a genuine collaborative experience. Unlike other programs where the leader is teaching at you, we're working together as a whole to support each other in reaching our goals. So within the mastermind, there are mini masterminds. So everyone is supporting each other, and there's plenty of peer-to-peer support. In addition, you'll have access to my Chase Your Dreams Slack channel to communicate with myself and others in the program. You'll be getting customized content, resources, and content that's specific to the needs of the people in the mastermind. You will also be rewarded for following through with the things you commit to in your business. So we make accountability fun, and I want to be able to celebrate our wins together. And, I'm all about celebrations and wins, and I can offer prizes too, if that's, an incentive for people. And, another benefit is cutting the time it takes for you to reach your goals. That's my goal, right? To help you. The masterclass will be hosted by me, and I will bring in guest mentors. So it's designed especially for the members who are in the program. And the really exciting part is, the guest mentors. I've spoken to several industry people who have a lot of experience. One lady who's a fashion designer down in California. She's an industry veteran, has been in the business for over 27 years. She built her business like from scratch to like $100 million without any venture capital money, investor money, and she's got worldwide distribution. And she's like, yeah, Glynis, I'm on board. Like, I'd love to come on as a guest mentor for you. And just really, I mean, I have a network of people. I know a lot of people in the industry, so I will bring these people on. It's really all about supporting you. And the best part is that you'll have access to my 20 years apparel industry experience. Like I said earlier, I have 10 years working for big brands such as Club Monaco and Reebok, as well as running my own clothing design company for 10 years. So the program is set to start on Thursday, March 4th. Okay. And like I said, you know, you get all these things like the private Slack community, custom master classes, you get weekly group coaching calls on Zoom, you get curated resources, mini masterminds, accountability groups, and curated resources, and access to guest mentors. I think this is awesome. And the investment for the program is only $250 a month for 3 months. Okay. So right now, the registration page is open. And what I will do is I will put the link here in the chat so you guys can check it out. It's on an application process right now. So all you have to do is go in and fill out the application form. So let me just stop my screen right now. And I'm gonna just put that information here. If anyone wants to go and check it out, that's the page to go. So it looks like this here. So you just have to go and click on what register my spot. And this is the page will tell you all about the program and everything and what's included. And then you just go and click to register your spot there. And yeah, I'm gonna select 10 people to be in the program. So it's gonna be, you know, a small group right now, but I think it's gonna be amazing for everyone. You're gonna, you know, be able to network and make connections as well and have fun along the way. So yeah, that's my pitch for that. But in terms of, you know, what we talked about today, does anyone have any questions? Does anyone have questions about what we learned about today, or perhaps about the program? Yes.
Hi, Glynis. This is Jan here.
Oh, hi, Jan.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Sorry, I was a bit delayed. Anyway, like you told about like for the sales and like marketing things, I think it's more for the individuals, like those who are introducing their brands. How about like if a garment factory wants to do that?
Yeah, this workshop I put together today is for product-based businesses.
Okay.
Fashion entrepreneurs and people. I mean, target specifically for people with product-based businesses. You're, I guess, more in a service business, but yeah. I think still, you know, a lot of the things I just taught and went over can be applied to your business.
So like most of the business, like how we are getting like people like, you know, the consultants, those like consultant based companies. So they are the consultants, or you can say the middle person or agents, you know, they are in Toronto or like Quebec, like Montreal. So like they provide us a contract, they take their commissions and we provide them. So most of the business usually like comes from there. Like we are paying them commission and they are giving us a business. Yeah. Yeah.
So you get a lot of your business from referrals, right?
Yeah. I mean, referrals works also, but like sometimes like if I'm doing a brand, like let's suppose I'm working with the Reebok, let's suppose, and simultaneously, like if I'm getting order from Nike, they will always ask me like, who are your customers? If I tell them Reebok, they sometimes scare, you know, to give the order to us because of, you know, the branding and we have sometimes missed the orders just because of that. That's why like we are a little bit reluctant sometimes to open up like about our customer list, because people are always scared like if their designs will be copied or compromised somewhere, so that's why. Yeah, so that's why referrals, like for garment factories, it's very hard. Though, like referrals are the best way, to increase your business and increase your sales. I know that in every business, but here sometimes like it discourages too. But like mostly agents, they usually work in between, and and we pay them commission for that.
Okay. You're
Yeah,
talking about sales, like agents, manufacturing agents who bring you business, and you give them commission off of the sale they bring in.
yeah. So usually what happened that when they give us a sale and order confirms,
Yeah.
before like getting the order, we always ask them that how much money they need for the per piece, So let's suppose they ask for 50 cents for per piece, and it's the order of like 100,000 pieces, So that's the way it works. So yeah.
In terms of competition, I mean, I think it's up to them to decide if they know who you work with, right? You want to publish that, like the brands you work with, right? As I know you work with Canada Goose, and like to me, when I know that, I'm like, that the factory meets a certain level of standard, right? Because if you're working at Canada Goose, like they won't accept anything that's like off by one stitch, like it's like rejected, right? So that you have to have so much like your quality control in place. And everybody who doesn't know who Jan is, Jan actually runs a garment factory in East Coast Canada, and he produces for a lot of big brands, and Canada Goose is one of his clients. So to me, I'm like, I actually worked as a manufacturing agent for a company in Asia. He was actually my factory who produced my clothing for me. Okay. And so him and his father started a factory in Vancouver, and they were one of the first factories that was producing for Aritzia and Lululemon, and now they put MEC. But as more and more people started going offshore, they moved their factory overseas and have it in Asia, in China, and now they have Vietnam and Cambodia. But I was trying to help him get business, as working as an agent, and he was going to give me a commission on whatever sales I brought in. And I had a whole presentation, deck, and they were fully transparent of who their clients were, right? So they had, MEC on there. They had like a Louis Garneau, like they did cycling. They're very high tech, high performance apparel manufacturer. And so people will like know that, and they're like, okay, well, you work with these brands. So anybody who wants to like, that's how they sought them out. So ultimately, I think it's the client who decides, right? They decide if you are the factory, and like, like I think there's Nike and like Reebok, they use the same factories anyway. There's all
it was just an example.
Overlaps. So
I mean, it was just an example, so that's why. So what do you think, like, is there any other way, like I know that most of like Instagram, Facebook, and then we have a Canadian apparel site, where we met,
Canadian Apparel Federation is our association, like in Canada. US, I think, is CFDA. And I mean, will you work with US customers as well?
We were in talk with Puma last time, but then order was, I mean, like we lose that order. But but like only customer from US was Puma when we talked with them. So mostly right now it's all Canadian based.
But I think social channels as well, reaching out to I think LinkedIn would be good for you, because you're talking like business to business, right? And you want to talk to I like production managers, sourcing
Yeah.
directors, production managers are probably your people that you want to talk to.
Hmm.
They're on LinkedIn. You can definitely find them and connect with them on LinkedIn. Just by
Oh,
job
okay.
title, you can go in LinkedIn and go, you know, production manager, even for Nike, or, you know, you
Mm-hmm,
can go
mm-hmm.
and find the people and just direct message them. I think that's
Message them.
probably the best for you.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Does that help?
Yeah. And thanks for the link you sent to me for the company name, you know, in Quebec,
Oh,
in
yeah,
the
for the
email
fabric.
for the fabric. Yeah.
Oh, so
So
you didn't know of them?
no, I didn't hear about them.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah. So
I just
yeah,
Googled
I
it.
hope like their prices would match, you know, because I have sourced out another company. They are based in Toronto. So their price is very reasonable. I hope, like, I have sent an email to them. I have talked to the guy in production, and he told me like send an email and put your all spec in that. So they will send me the quotation later on. So I hope like it will work.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I hope it works
Yeah,
out for
yeah,
you, because I
yeah,
just Googled like medical fabric, medical
yeah,
grade fabric, and
yeah,
that came up,
yeah,
and they happen to be in Quebec, in Canada
yeah.
too. So I'm like,
True.
oh, okay, awesome. I'm like, oh, I wonder if Jan knows about this already. So,
Yeah,
so I'm
yeah,
glad that
yeah.
helped. Okay, somebody had a question here. Will the group coaching be intended more to people who have up and running businesses, or is it all right for people who are just starting out? Yeah, that's a good question. I set this program, I guess you're at the, I guess, launch to early startup stage, right? You're running a business, I'd say, for people 2 to 3 years in business. Like if you're at the launch to probably first 2 3 years of business, I would say is probably the best for you, because you know, I like to build the foundation, right? So I could bring it into, like, you know, we could do a whole time management goal setting session, right? I have the workshop actually, but perhaps you may need help to just like, okay, you know, what do I need to work on? How do I prioritize my time? What should I be focusing on? Because as an entrepreneur, you know, I understand you're like, it's like spinning 10 plates in the air, right? Like you're the designer, you're doing product development, you're doing production, you're doing sales and marketing, you are distribution, you're packing your orders, you're shipping, you're doing customer service, like you're doing everything, right? So where are you supposed to put the time? So really, you know, this is why I'm giving you the fundamentals, right, of what I used to build my business, how I was able to sustain it for 10 years, because it's all about the systems and processes. I ran it with a very lean and mean team. Like I was doing most of the work, and until I hired my first assistant, right? And so understanding when is the right time to actually be able to delegate and hire people on, bring in people, and, you know, that's the thing, right? So we're talking about like more of the like the nitty gritty things that happen to you, perhaps in the day-to-day things. And actually, to answer a question, somebody actually asked me about the program in terms of like timing and how it works, because, you know, the 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 workshop or the mastermind is going to be about 60 to 90 minutes. Okay, so how I structure it is that everyone's going to have a check-in form. Okay, and the check-in form, you're going to talk about, you know, what are your needs, what are your challenges are, what are your wins. So you would fill that in when you come in every week. You have the check-in with you. We give everybody about 3 to 5 minutes to talk about it. Okay, so what are your challenges, what are your wins, what are your needs, and what do you need help with? Now you could talk about this, and if somebody has a particular issue they need help with that we need to spend more time on, then we can give them about half an hour, okay, to address this issue. So it's really like based on your needs. And if everybody, you know, I was like, I need to know more about garment manufacturing, or something, I could bring Jan on, you know,
Yeah.
and he can talk. He can, you know, I'd love to have you as guest mentor, Jan.
Thank you so much.
On you right now, but you know, he has so much experience, right? Tammy agrees.
Yeah.
And so you know, stuff like this, right? And just being able to support your group and having that peer-to-peer and accountability, definitely, right? Like that's what it's all about, and having fun. So really, that is how I'm going to structure it. You know, perhaps have some lessons thrown in there. Perhaps 1 week, if somebody has a major issue, it's like, okay, let's help this person out. How, you know, another day we could have a guest mentor. You know, they can do a presentation. It's all like that. So it's whatever you need. And I really am taking your feedback. You know, and I'll give everybody access to the Slack channel as well, so you guys can communicate. You know, and be able to reach me when you need to. I'm always available. So I'm really here to support you. That's what it's all about. And hopefully have some fun along the way. But yeah, that's what the group coaching is. So I really encourage everyone here to just put your name on the list, okay? And right now, I'm probably gonna start doing the selection at the end of this month, and I'm gonna pick 10 people to join the group. So I really love to see everybody there. And are there any more questions for me before I wrap this up? Hopefully everyone enjoyed this presentation today. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And if you have any feedback, definitely, you know, let me know, send me an email. Sorry, I didn't pop in my contact information here, but I have my website, I'll give you my email address. And I'm on Instagram. Instagram handle @GlynisTao. My email's hello@glynistao.com. I have a lot of resources on my website for you guys to check out. I'm going to be running this, my webinar next week is on search engine optimization. And then the last one will be on logistics, operations and logistics and shipping and all that stuff. So really been building upon this whole foundation to hopefully set your business up for success. And I'm really here to support you and encourage everybody. Just keep going. Okay. And so if there aren't any more questions, then I will wrap this meeting up, and really appreciate everyone for being here today. Please keep in touch with me, and, you know, hope to see you in the next workshop. Okay? Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank
See
you,
you.
everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
Jan, for dropping in today. That's awesome. Thanks, everyone. Take care.